It's the I Can't Mom Today podcast with Heather, the new mom, and Vera, the seasoned mom. I Can't Mom Today.
Hey, this is Vera and Heather back again with another episode, another cheery, merry episode of I Can't Mom Today podcast. We're going to get into holiday traditions, wacky and wild and weird and everything in between. But first, let's catch up.
Okay. Yeah. How are things?
Listen, my birthday month hasn't started out quite great.
Oh,
so
really?
I told you the water heater broke, right?
Yeah.
So we got that repaired. Then literally the day after, we get it prepared at 7:00 at night. The next day I bring in the car for an oil change and there's a leak that they have to take the transmission out just to diagnose it.
Oh my gosh.
$2,000.
Oh my God.
And my tooth is hurting again. And I'm just I just can't right now. But luckily, thankfully, we bought, extended warranty and we had the home warranty. And so it's really out of pocket's only $500. So that's good.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Could you imagine though, $5,000 in 2 days?
Mm-hmm. I feel you.
Just to diagnose, not even a fix. So
yeah.
I'm just thankful for that. But I'm just I'm exhausted from the mental toll that it has taken, the mental and emotional toll it has taken, just trying to get everything fixed. And so I went to the dentist yesterday. Everything looks good. But I was just can we just pull the tooth? Can I just not D around anymore? You know what I'm saying?
Just get rid of it. Just pull the sucker out.
Yeah, well, because they like I've said many times, they can't figure out what tooth it is. And I'm almost positive I know what tooth is, but they always fight with me about that tooth. I'm like, no, I promise you.
Yeah.
And so he's like, yeah, absolutely. We can pull it. I was like, thank God. So that'll be coming in my future. I'm hoping to prolong it as much as possible. So I've been trying to do things to prolong it, I'm using a water pick like an old lady now.
Mm-hmm.
And use tea tree mouthwash. That's those two things have been helping a lot. So there we are. How are you?
Yeah,
and your doctor's
good.
appointments that you're doing for your son.
Oh yeah. Well, actually, so we finally got to do a telehealth with the doctor in Miami, and it went really well.
Good.
And it's just amazing the difference, between one doctor or doctor's office and another. I mean, they called me leading up to it. They called me, are you okay? Do you know how to use the telehealth? Do you know,
Wow.
and I was almost there was a little part of me that was like, okay, stop calling me. But then that was like, nope, I'm not
complaining. I'm not going to gift horse in the face. Let me tell you.
No, after all these months of having to deal with other doctors' offices where they don't answer the phone, tell you to talk to the stupid portal or whatever. They've been super helpful and really great. The doctor is great. He agreed that, if this medicine is messing with him and the side effects are too much, then we've got 25 other ones we can try.
Oh, I love that.
Let's give it a try.
I mean, I don't love that there's 25 minutes.
But
you might have to try, but
so it looks like we might be able to, because he struggles with this terrible anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
And so this new medicine, you have to ramp up on one and ramp down on the other.
Mm-hmm.
So we're ramping up on the new one, sticking with the other for a little while until we, everything evens out. And but I can even already, because this new medicine is not just a seizure control, it's also a mood stabilizer.
Mm-hmm.
So I can already tell it hasn't even been quite a week. And he's already I said something to him the other day and I was waiting for him to yell at me. And I was like, oh, he didn't yell. He didn't yell at me. Good. Oh my God. I feel like an abuse victim.
Yeah. And not to make light of it, abuse.
Yeah, exactly. No, not at all. Of course. I think people will know that. I would certainly never, but I do. I know,
but some people tuning in at the wrong time might.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
So
anyway, if you want to send hate mail, you can send it to me. Anyway, but it is honestly, I mean, his behavior has been abusive, emotionally, so, but that's not his fault. It's the stupid medicine. So anyway, this new medicine, it seems to be helping. He's even regaining his appetite. He had no appetite before.
And he's already a thin boy or man.
Yes. He has no body fat. Yes. He has no body fat and he's active. He does karate all the time. So the other thing is too, that he just said to me yesterday, and I almost cried. He said, I'm starting to look forward to going places again.
Good.
And I was like, oh, and I was like, oh, is it because, you think, oh, I have to go somewhere and kind of, when you're down in the dumps, you don't feel well. You're like, oh, I don't want to go there. And he said, yeah, partly that, but it's also like, I'm just not afraid. Like before, every time I'd go anywhere, I was afraid of something bad happening. Now I don't have that as much fear. And I'm like, that is like for people who deal with anxiety, that's like, a big part. Like it's so hard. Like even poor Jerry. I mean, he tries to understand, but when you haven't had any mental health issues yourself, I think it's really hard to try and understand when somebody else does. To put yourself in their space and see that their reactions are not healthy, thus mental illness. But it's there's some wiring or chemical stuff going on in your brain that you can't help. There's only so much you can do to, without some sort of medication or change in medication or whatever it is. So,
and not everybody has the support that you're providing either.
Right. No, it's true. It's very true. So anyway, so yes, so things I'm very hopeful. I'm a little afraid, to get too hopeful, but so far so good. And even just feeling like I have a good team of doctors on my side finally is really encouraging, and that at least is comforting. So I'm very thankful for that. So
good.
So yeah, cross your fingers that it continues to work out with him. But again, like if anybody's been listening, just finally getting people to respond to me and take my phone calls, and it's just so yeah. So there you go. So things are good. I'm hoping we can have a good, happy Christmas, and just, I'm actually working on finally decorating the tree. We've only had the tree for a week, but yeah,
Oh, whatever. We did it the same day, but whatever. To each their own.
Yeah. Well, the problem is that I have to do it by myself because Jerry and Lucas aren't really interested in it. So it's like I have to rally. I mean, they would probably help me if I asked.
I was like, there are things that you're not interested in that you still do.
Well, true, but
lay on the guilt trip. Lay on the guilt trip.
I should.
Like, but it's my hands.
Right, exactly. My arthritis.
Yeah. Boy who cried wolf.
Right. So, anyways, speaking of the holidays,
Jinx. Oh my God, it wasn't even planned. So I bought that book about a month ago and still have not read it.
About weird holiday stuff?
No, just about holiday traditions. Because I'm trying to figure out what we can do in our house that we can make it our own and be fun with it, and obviously not our own traditions because we have, I'm stealing it from someone else, but isn't that the greatest form of flattery?
Yeah.
But I want to do just some different things because we always did the big meal and, gifts and everybody takes a turn and I just want to do something different.
Yeah. Well, we used to open our presents on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, you wild people.
I know. Well, that was the European way, according to my parents. But it was fun, though, because it was just the four of us. We didn't have a big family. And my parents would make fondue. How 1970s/80s is that?
Listen.
But we'd make fondue, which was fun. At least as a little kid, I thought it was fun.
It was fondue.
Fondue, yeah. So we'd have fondue and then we'd open our presents. And then that way my parents didn't have to worry about us waking them up too early. And we'd get up early and play with our toys. And, it was good.
Yeah, we got to open one gift on Christmas Eve and then the rest on Christmas Day. But these are wow. Like I'm just like very intrigued and also petrified.
Oh yeah, with some of the weird ones that we found. Yeah, some of the weird traditions.
Yeah. Weird. So it's 11 wacky holiday traditions around the world, and we'll link the article, but it's from Babel magazine. And it just gives like a kind of a very brief summary. I'm sure there's more historical knowledge that goes into it, but it's just, so I'm going to start at the top one.
Yeah.
Which you had heard about. And I feel like I had heard at some point, but I had no idea. Can you say it? Because I'm messing up.
It's Krampusnacht.
Okay. And this is, so they say it's in Germany, Austria, and Hungary, but you said you thought it was somewhere
Australia.
else too.
No, Australia too supposedly has picked up on it. It's December 5th is the official Krampusnacht. But yeah, Krampus is the is like this devil guy. He's like half goat, I think, and half man, and he's supposed to be this devil that terrorizes bad children. And like,
Mhm.
if you look at the pictures and stuff, he is scary. Some of the masks, like people dress up like Krampus on December
It's
5th and run
terrifying.
around and scare kids. I'm like, okay, it's kind of like Halloween, only even scarier.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, it's supposed to be for the naughty list kids.
Yeah, yeah. I also
Yeah.
read somewhere too that so they'll give some kids if they're naughty, like a little like stick bouquet, like
Yeah.
a bunch of sticks tied together, like kind of, I guess that's like our, coal in your stocking kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, certain nights of December 5th, supposedly on Krampusnacht, they run around and scare kids in the streets with these scary devil masks on.
That's insanity. Like that, if that doesn't motivate you.
I
I
know,
don't know
right? As a
what
little kid,
will.
I don't want Krampus coming after me, man.
No, no. The second one I don't think is too crazy, but it's a city in Mexico. I cannot pronounce it and I don't want to butcher it. December 23rd marks La Noche de Rabano, but I'm Rabanos. I don't know if it's
Rabanos.
Rabanos or Rabanos because there's no tilde over the N, but I
Yeah.
feel like, anyways, the Night of the Radishes is what it's called. And so they intricately carve the nativity scene
Out of radishes.
yeah. I mean, like,
Yeah.
don't tell me that it takes talent, but I just don't know that it's like wild and crazy like the last one. Oh my God.
Hey, it's something to do. I can't stand radishes. So I'm like, well, there's a
I
purpose for them after all.
same, same.
Jerry loves them
Agreed.
though. So does my mom. They'll eat them
Some
like
people do,
just raw.
whatever,
Gross.
whatever.
Ugh.
Lame. Just kidding.
Well,
Yeah,
I've
go
heard
what?
of this next one.
Mhm.
Have you heard of this? The KFC
No,
for Christmas in Japan?
no, but I'm gonna ask Brad about it because he spent a year in Japan in the Marines, and so he, Brad's so crazy. He's like, I'm basically Japanese. I'm like, oh yes,
Uh-huh.
that's how
Because you
that
spent 1 year
works.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, but he really actually he loved Japan.
Yeah, I've always wanted to go. That's on my bucket list. I'd
I
like to go to
know.
Japan. But yeah, they say
Anyways,
3.5 million Japanese families eat fried chicken on Christmas Eve because it all started in the 70s where KFC did this promotion called Kentucky for Christmas. There's a
oh
Japanese version of it. I can't pronounce it.
yeah,
Anyway, so they made this whole campaign where you should have Kentucky for Christmas. And now it's to the point where you have to like people pre-order their fried chicken months in
what? Like they're
advance.
turkeys.
Yeah, exactly. Only it's fried chicken, and they get fried chicken, cake, and champagne. Champagne and fried chicken. That's interesting.
Oh, I'm here for it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's their big thing in Japan. Isn't that funny? Like, whatever marketing genius came up with that, man, you got to
Yeah, I
give them
mean, we're
credit.
going 50 years.
I know, seriously, 50
That's
years they've been doing this now.
bananas.
Oh
All
man, that
right,
fried
the
chicken
fourth
sounds
one
good.
in Norway, they hide the broom. So they've been told that a witch is evil spirits and witches roam the night sky on Christmas Eve, and they don't want to be taken away, so they hide their brooms.
Yeah. Which is pretty funny. I mean, it's kind of
Yeah,
cute though. I can see being like, okay,
all
where'd
right,
you put the
guys, where
brooms? Are they
the
in the hall closet? Where are we hiding them? Under
I
the
know
bed?
under the bed is where I would always like look. I feel like,
Yeah.
and
Well,
are
the
we
next one,
deassembling them because we want to get a good hiding spot?
oh yeah, well, you can yeah, deassembling them. But it's and I've noticed in Europe they're really big on the witches.
Mhm.
So the next one is a gift giving witch, which is in Italy,
Mhm.
and it's kind of like Santa Claus, only she's kind of like ugly, not like Santa Claus is kind of cute, but she's
Yeah.
nice. She's La Befana, and supposedly, um, so the Magi stopped at her house to ask for directions on their way to visit baby Jesus. And they invited her to come with them on their journey, but she said she had too much housework to do. So after they left, she changed her mind and tried to find them, but couldn't. So now she flies around on the night of January 5th. So this is a little after Christmas, but it's the eve of the Epiphany.
Mhm.
Anyway, so a lot like Santa Claus, she delivers toys to children. And instead of milk and cookies, Italians leave out a plate of sausage and broccoli and a glass of wine.
Yes.
Sausage and broccoli and a glass of wine. Hey,
Yes.
a little healthier than cookies.
I saw something. It was like, a parent giving advice to their kid saying, you should give out whiskey and donuts or something like that. And they're like, but Santa likes milk and cookies. And the parents like, trust me, kid.
Yeah, the whiskey and donuts.
Yeah. The next one is dead horse caroling in Wales. So this is, I mean, I would be very alarmed if I was like staying in the Airbnb and this happened. So it's similar to Christmas caroling, but instead they have like this real horse's head and a sheet, and they knock on your door, and then you're challenged to a battle of rhyming insults in Welsh.
I mean, how random is that?
I mean, very engaging though, right?
Well, it's a horse head, like it's a horse skull, right? It's not just like,
it's not like they don't like to go. It's not like Godfather.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a skull of a horse, and it looks like from the pictures, it's like you've got the skull, and then the person like hides underneath a sheet, and so yeah.
And then after the contest, the party is usually invited inside for refreshments.
That's right. All right. No matter.
I mean, it depends. If I win, do I win? Then yes.
So the next one is the burning of the devil in Guatemala.
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly, it's what they do is they set bonfires outside their houses, and burn effigies of the devil to expunge evil spirits. To celebrate the victory of good over evil. But supposedly in the past, it started to become a problem because people would put all their trash outside their houses and set that on fire.
And there was like plastics and
bad for the environment, probably kind of stinky too. So they've kind of said, can you please stop it with the trash? So a lot of people just burn pinatas shaped like the devil. Yeah, and then they have donuts and warm fruit punch. Yay. Yeah, that sounds kind of like fun.
Yeah. Let's burn stuff and drink punch and donuts.
Right. Burn stuff and drink. There you go. That's it. That's the gist of it.
And the next one is beach party, and that's in Australia. So unlike us, it's warmer in Australia during the holidays. So they typically have parties on the beach and, picnic, swimming, volleyball, and
surfing Santas.
Yes. And they also, in recent years of wild parties thrown there, have gotten so out of hand that alcohol bans have been implemented. I could see that.
Definitely. Them Australians know how to party.
Yeah.
I love this one. The next one is roller skating to mass in Venezuela. Isn't that cool?
Until you come in all bloodied.
Yeah, well, you better be a good roller skater. Yeah. But supposedly the whole city of Caracas, which is the capital of Venezuela, everybody roller skates to early morning mass on Christmas Day. So there are no vehicles. You can't have any vehicles on many parts of the city before 8 a.m. because there's so many people roller skating. Isn't that cool?
Crazy.
Yeah. And supposedly too, the night before, kids will tie one end of a string to their big toe and hang the other end out of their bedroom window so that passing roller skaters can give the string a tug on their way to mass.
Okay.
Isn't that kind of random? But it's kind of funny and cool too.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding.
I like it.
Yeah. Hey, and healthy too, roller skating, getting some exercise in.
Agreed. The next one is lucky spider webs in Ukraine. The history comes from a family that bought a Christmas tree or have a Christmas tree. They grew it. They didn't buy it. They grew it from a pine cone. Sorry. They grew it from a pine cone, and they didn't have money for decoration. So the spiders saw that and started spinning their webs, and then in the sun the next morning the webs turned to like gold and silver or something. Silver and gold the next morning. So the people still do that as a way for good luck, but heck, I do not want spider webs.
Really? See, spiders don't scare me. Maybe because I watched a lot of Charlotte's Web as a kid.
I don't care. I mean, I like Charlotte's Web too, but there are like brown recluse and black widows and pass. Don't care.
I think it's kind of cool. It's sweet. The spiders are helping the family out because they didn't have money for decorations.
Yes, and the littles were cute little mice that lived in your wall that didn't chew on anything.
Yeah. And finally, with weird holiday traditions, the pooping log. This is too funny. It's in Catalonia, which is a part of Spain. I've been there. Their Spanish is really weird. Like I speak some
Really?
Spanish. Yeah, it's a very different dialect. But it's a beautiful place. But anyway, so the pooping log. Well, supposedly it's Dio de Nadal, which means Christmas log. But there is a pooping factor here. They hollow out a log and they give it a face and legs and a little red hat. And then starting on December 8th, the families feed the log every night and fill it with presents and candy. And then they put a blanket over the log to keep it warm. So on Christmas Eve, they put the log in the fireplace and they don't set it on fire yet. But the members of the family take turns hitting it with a stick, commanding it to poop the presents out. As well as the candy, kind of almost like a piñata, I guess. But they want the log to poop out the presents, and they sing songs while they're hitting the log, telling it to poop. And anyway, then after they beat the poor log, after they made it look all cute and everything, they beat the poop out of it and literally get the gifts afterwards. And then I guess
nothing
they set it
says
on fire.
holiday
I don't know.
spirit like beating the crap out of a
log
log.
saying poop, poop. Give me my presents. What is it
that I put in there?
The Halloween, give me some candy.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
I know. I love that. The pooping log.
Would I implement it? No.
No, but it's still kind of funny.
But I support you doing it.
There you go. Those are our 11 interesting holiday traditions around the world.
Yeah, and if you have any really fun or crazy or
suggestions
wild
for
or
Heather,
hilarious, yes,
something that Heather can adopt for her family, for her little
hit
family.
us up on our Facebook page at I Can't Mom Today podcast, or you can message us on Instagram, on email at I Can't Mom Today podcast at gmail.com, or send out smoke signals if you want. I don't know that I can't read them, but you can send them out.
Yeah. Well, also too, don't forget, I Can't Mom Today merch is available at TeePublic, and the link is should be in our show notes. But if you go to teepublic.com and do a search for I Can't Mom Today, you should find us with our fun logo and everything. So, and you can get everything from a laptop case to phone covers to mugs to hoodies to all kinds of fun stuff.
T-shirts.
Yeah. So buy them for yourself.
Can we get socks?
I don't think they have socks on that site.
Okay.
But we could try and manufacture some. Yeah. Socks would be fun.
Yeah. The fuzzy one. It has to be fuzzy though.
Fuzzy socks. Yes. Like really fuzzy fleece socks. Yeah. Yep. I'm down.
And also don't forget, we have discounts for Ultimate Cloth, which is one of our favorite cloths ever to clean with, especially stainless steel. It's just the best and non-toxic. And it's
don't have to use any chemicals. You just use water and you wash them when you need to. They're great. Ultimate Cloth. Yeah, we'll put that link too if you want to pick some of those up as a gift. Nice stocking stuffer.
Yes. Or just sandy for yourself.
Yes, well, there's that too.
All right, until next time.
Bye.